13 is on your side.
I hope you enjoyed that interview with the Grand Rapids Public Museum. Now we're going to talk about another really cool program happening in our community. Pilates sessions being offered in our area and money from those sessions going back to help animals in need across the state of Michigan. So I am joined by Olivia Keefe. Olivia, thanks so much for being here to talk about this. This is your passion project. It's called Pilates with a Purpose, correct?
Yes.
There we go.
Yep.
Awesome. Want to make sure that I get it right. And so I kind of explained it, but you're putting on these Pilates classes. You're certified in Pilates, and the money that folks, are paying for your classes with, you're then donating to different charitable organizations in the community. Do I have that right?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. And we were chatting, though, the backstory to how you sort of got into this is really meaningful. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I always had this idea for this little organization that I really wanted to build since I started training for Pilates, but it was always one of those things that it was something in the future, maybe I'll do it, like
Sure.
if that would be my dream.
Yeah.
But frankly, I don't think I would have ever done it. It was one of those things.
Yeah.
It wasn't until we actually made the difficult decision to surrender our own dog. That is why I started this. We got our dog, Benji, and he actually was our second dog, and we got him at a shelter in Indiana. So when he was meeting my first dog, they were very compatible. They were getting along there. And then it wasn't until we took him home where my first dog just was not being kind to him.
Which
And
can happen and is really difficult.
Yeah, so it just really was not fair to Benji. And he is just so sweet and the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
So we knew that he deserved more, and we knew that he deserved a loving home. So we unfortunately had to make the decision to surrender him.
Yeah.
And that just was so devastating for me and my family. And but it also made
Kind of
me
inspired this idea to help in a way, which is really neat.
Yeah, it gave me that push to actually have this idea, take the idea that was in the back of my head and put it into something.
Yeah, and that's because one of the sessions that you've had has given back to that shelter that took him when you had to surrender Benji, which is so cool. I mean, there's so many shelters in need for a multitude of reasons in our community. And so far with the sessions, you've mostly had the money donated to animal shelters all across the state.
Yes, we have donated to 3 animal shelters. Our first one is by my home in Muskegon, Noah Project. All of the shelters are also no-kill shelters. That's something that I really value. Our second shelter was the one that Benji went to, which is West Michigan Bulldog Rescue, where he lives there as a sanctuary dog, where he just gets loved on by all the other dogs there because they live in this woman's home.
Yeah.
And then our third dog is a foster-based one in Grand Rapids, Michelle's Rescue.
Oh yes, so, I've heard of all of these organizations, all such great organizations. And so it's just been a couple of sessions at this point. Is this something that you'd like to, continue doing in the future?
Yeah, so I started in June. We usually do 2 a week. We raised just over $4,000 this summer.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so in the future, although we had to take a break because we do it in local parks, and obviously it's getting colder.
Yeah, we've got some great pictures. This is so awesome. Who doesn't love this? Yeah,
so my goal is to become a 501c3 organization. I'm actually in the process of doing that right now because my goal is to expand and keep on going with this. I would love to get more volunteers and be able to go into new places and just not stop at shelters, but just animal welfare in general. I always have been inspired by my stories with Benji and different things like that. And actually recently, a family member's dog that I was super close with passed away from Cushing's disease. And so right now I've been in contact with schools like MSU, UC Davis, and Washington State University, and in contact with their veterinary research.
Oh, interesting.
To be able to fund portions to go towards research.
Of research, yeah. I've never even heard of that disease. So I think that's probably, part of the reason that it needs more funding and more research.
Yeah, because it can happen in both dogs and humans. And in humans, it's very curable, almost 100% of the time. But unfortunately, in dogs, the research for the surgery that can be done in humans is just not well done. Yeah. Because there is something that they can do about it, but it's just risky,
needs research and money and all of that, of course.
Yeah, so that is what I would love to do, is just expand it not just to animal shelters, but to animal welfare in general.
Very cool. Okay, and we should also mention that she's doing all of this and you're also in school right now. You're in college, which is so impressive to be doing this. Yeah, and I mean, once you expand, obviously doing Pilates in the park during Michigan winter probably isn't ideal, but moving to a studio perchance one day where people can come no matter the time of year, I'm sure that is on your wish list as well. This is so cool. Okay, so if people are hearing about this and they maybe want to attend a session or just learn more about how to maybe help you out, get involved, what is your suggestion there on how people can get in touch with you?
Yeah, so I have a Facebook group called Pilates for Purpose, and then my Instagram is Pilates for Purpose MI. Our donations, we usually take $10 donations, but 100% of that goes to shelters, and that's something that I will always keep. That's super important to me, is that it all is a donation.
I love that. Awesome. Olivia, thanks so much for coming to talk about this. You reached out to us and I said, I got to talk to this girl because this is such an awesome program. So thank you for all that you're doing. I mean, all of those organizations you mentioned, they can always use more funding and help to take care of animals in our community. So thanks so much for coming in to talk about this and for the great work you're doing in our community.
Thank you so much.
We're going to take